Okay guys, so there is a major situation happening right now with the LGBT community, especially with Bioware. So very recently, one of the members of this community, I believe, they posted a video in which they said that they are shocked about the fact that Bioware has decided to fire a bunch of people, and effectively their reaction was very surprising from my point of view, because when did you believe that a mega corporation would have your interest or would think about your agenda or your political agenda or your gender ideology or support it? A company like EA, all they want to do is make profit, and the only reason why they followed and they pushed the DEI agenda, which was really hot for the last 4 years, it was because they were receiving a bunch of money from the government and from different companies like BlackRock, etc. That was the only reason why they were pushing this hard for this inclusivity agenda in their video games. And now the reality hits really hard. Many people who play these games have not bought the game, the company has made a ton of losses, and now these people feel for some reason betrayed because they actually believed that EA or Bioware is really behind them, which is, from my point of view, just so gullible. Let's just check this particular reaction from this streamer. Don't really know this person's name, but check out what they're saying.
Because Veilguard chose to represent, I guess. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just a whole lot. Because now I'm in a position where I don't think Bioware is on my side. And that's... I'm in a position now where for the first time I don't think Bioware has the right intentions.
So Bioware was never on anyone's side. Bioware was always on the side of the money. That is pretty much it. Now this particular summary from God Empress of Mankind, Nure, on her Twitter account summarizes it very nicely. She says the following: I don't think Bioware is on my side. They never were. Look, I know in your head you think I hate you because you're trans or whatever, but that's not the case. We just don't see eye to eye because we are fundamentally different people. But I don't like seeing anyone get blatantly manipulated. And you and everyone who became Bioware's sword and shield during the Veilguard marketing cycle got played hard. Companies don't care about you. Studios don't have your best interest at heart. They care about the money. And for years, slapping a rainbow flag on their profile and throwing a trans flag charm in an FPS made them money. Not anymore. Now you've been dropped like a sack of hot potatoes and you're surprised. I have been saying this since day one. So Nura here, she has basically made a perfect summary on the situation. And guys, it is what it is. Companies and corporations never give a frack about anything to do with people's identity, people's personal agendas, LGBT. All this stuff was because they were receiving a bunch of government funding, government money. They were receiving grants, they were receiving loans. In 2020, DEI was a very hot thing and you could literally get easy money with these DEI loans. That's why these companies implemented these things, because they were getting easy money for their projects and then they didn't have to worry about effectively making that much money back because they were getting all these grants and free money effectively. But now the reality happened, and that when the game gets released and they don't make enough profit even to survive as a company, even to pay their staff their salaries, well, guess what? That means that people, real gamers, are not supporting this type of game. So there we have it. I just don't understand why these people believe that these corporations ever cared about them. It was never the case, guys. I mean, let's just wake up to reality. Even Facebook, even it does not matter. Any corporation, all they care about is the cash, the money. If they cannot make enough money, they don't have any morals. Because if you have morals in the business world, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to be swallowed by the big boys who have no morals and they're willing to buy you out or swallow you or overcompete over you or basically sell a better product than you, and you basically go bankrupt. That's the reality in which we live in. I'm very sorry, but that's the hardcore truth. So you coming here and saying that it's a lot and Bioware doesn't have their best intentions and you feel like, you know, they're not on your side anymore, wake up. They were never on your side or anyone's side for that matter. They are not on the gamer side, they're not on your side, they're not on any persons with any gender identity side whatsoever. The only side they are on is the side which makes the most amount of money. And now the DEI agenda with Trump has finished. That's it. There's no more free money, which means that these people, to make much money, they have to now sell games to people who actually buy their games. And guess what? The people who buy their games are people who don't actually support the DEI agenda, because for them, this sort of content is basically, it puts them off and they don't feel like they're immersed in a game where you have basically modern words and modern issues in a action fantasy medieval game like Dragon Age the Veilguard, like pulling barfs for apologizing for misgendering, or having a character like Tash in a game which says they're non-binary in a fantasy environment. It just completely breaks the immersion and you feel like you're not playing a game anymore. You're kind of with HR in the HR room and they're kind of telling you off for some reason because they have to educate you to behave a certain way. So you're almost like you're attending a training program or a behavioral retraining program. That's the problem. Like, gamers feel that, and when a gamer, this is the most important aspect of gaming. And if you don't understand this, it's because you don't play enough games. I'm really sorry. But in a video game, the moment you lose immersion, that's it. The game is dead. Because immersion is everything. If a game cannot immerse you in the story and keep you invested and kind of like feel like, yes, you are fighting against the evil forces, you are saving the world, you are doing something for the world. If it cannot do that, and the only thing it does is basically talks about identity politics, well, guess what? People will stop playing the game. And that's what has happened. And Bioware has sold and underperformed with Dragon Age the Veilguard at 50%. And that is, for a company like EA, that is criminal, unacceptable. So that's why they fired a bunch of people, because companies only think about themselves. Guys, that's it for today's video. As always, see you later in the next ones.